Hey, happy Saturday, y'all. Oh, yes, I've had a week. A lot of night pours, a lot of night stuff going on. Friday morning, dispatch had called me and said, "We got a 500 yarder. Do you want on it?" I was like, "Yes, sir." So I get on it. We got this fool on this crew. He needs a PET scan with contrast, and I swear to God, the thing is going to turn out black. There's no brain in there. Anywho, I did four loads for this job on a volunteer because today is my Saturday off, right? Now, if I hadn't worked last night, I wouldn't have made up for the hours that I got on Friday. We had rain or something. Good Friday. Kind of screwed up the hours. Had to make them up somewhere. So, Monday, I have to be in at midnight. And I'm like, damn. This sucks. My whole weekend. But, anyway, I'm working on laundry right now. But I ran across a couple of things, like I was watching shorts. One of the things, this has to do with, everybody, including the trucking industry. Alright, I can't help diesels, but I can help regular gas stations if I put this out, and I doubt anybody's going to hear it. But they could, if they wanted to. My great fucking ideas. Alright, I guess the government wants to start implementing 15% ethanol into our fuel. Let me explain for the novice the 15% ethanol idea. Alright, ethanol is corn. It's a sugar alcohol, basically. And when it burns, it creates crud. So, if there's anybody out there who has ever had to get their fuel injectors replaced, it's because you're using cheap ass gas. You see, if you use this is why twin engines, small engines require the 100%. Now here's the ignorant portion of the population. I'm going to explain something to you. All right. 100% gas is only 87 octane. Yeah. But it's 100% gas, no ethanol added. Octane and ethanol are completely different. Okay, there's a flash point on fuel, and that's where your octane comes in. It's the burning and the heat ratios, and you want to get with somebody who knows petrol, get with them, they'll explain it to you. I had told a biker, an old biker, well, he might be a new biker, but just old in age, and I pull up to I call it ag gas because they use it for agricultural vehicles or engines, lawnmowers, weed whackers, boats, anything small, V-twin, motorcycles. You get the idea, right? 100% gasoline. No corn cray added. No ethanol in it. It's 100% pure gasoline. Now, the gas station that I use, the price of the 100% is the same as the 93 octane at the pump. They have one itty bitty little pump in the middle, and it's like, God, I wish you would move that damn thing. And they're like, I said, or put a spigot on every pump you got. They're like, really? I said, I'd rather use that in everything I own than anything with ethanol in it. I said the only reason I use ethanol in my pickup truck is because my pickup truck is rated for flex fuel. Otherwise, if I had a 2007, my 2007 Dodge Ram, I used to use 100% fuel in it. Yeah. The guy who bought it, that thing is it's got to have over 400,000 miles on it right now. I swear to God. It got totaled out. The engine is the same. He fixed it up. He bought it at auction. After it got totaled out, he's got a salvage title. I have met the man. I was like, that's my old truck. He's like, no shit. I said, let me show you pictures. He's like, oh my God, it is your old truck. I said, it's still leaking water in the back seat. Yes, every time it rains. The engine has got 400,000 fucking miles on it. You know why? Because even though it's rated for like whatever 20, 30 oil, I used to put synthetic in it. And I ran that truck with ag gas. I lived out in Podunk, big gas station, big tractor community. It's at the pump. The first pump you pull up to, it's at every single pump. And in that area, every pump has a 100% gas spigot option. That 15% is going to wreck your fuel injectors. It's going to wreck your pistons. Have you ever seen what happens to sugar when it burns? That's what's accumulating in your engine. That's why particular vehicles and particular engines require different oils and different gasolines because of the piston trituration. V-twins, they run like this. And they run faster than a compression in a V8, which has 4 cylinders on one side and 4 cylinders on the other. Each one is like boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. Or, depending, overhead cam, they're going 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. That boom, 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 and they boom, 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 boom. That's how an engine runs. And with the ignition forces of the oil and the gas and the pistons and everything working together, that corrosion builds up on the pistons and it destroys fucking engines. That's what's destroying your engine. Oil build up, being too sludgy, not having the right weight in there. My motorcycle. I love my Indian. I love it. I love my service guy. I've got one. He's great. Knowing how to do all of the mechanics on an Indian does not make you an engine expert. My Indian, this particular engine, as much as I love full synthetic, that bike likes semi-synthetic. That particular engine is a Thunderstroke. It likes semi-synthetic. I buy my engine oil and I do my oil changes with oil that I buy from a company, Indian dealership out west that's in the north. And the reason why is because it is a certain weight. If I were to buy my oil change kit down here in Tennessee, they're going to give me the 1060 weight. My bike don't like it. It doesn't shift properly. It doesn't. But I use Indian oil. I use what is designed for that engine. because it's sensitive. Now, you got an older model vehicle. You got like 86 Ford. Pull that old oil out. Put full synthetic in it. Run it for 3,000 miles. Change it again. It's going to be expensive. But after that second oil change, you're going to go 10,000 miles before you can change that shit again. It's going to clean up your shit. Use 100% gasoline. There is less carbon blow off and less corrosion. Speaking from experience. So, I went in at whatever. I had to be into work at 10:45 last night. I took my motorcycle. I had about 70 miles left in the tank. I got off, I called him because we got this one dude that we were working with who's crazy. Some of the shit that comes out of this man's mouth. Just, how are you still alive and Murphy has not taken you out yet? I'm just trying to figure it out. Anyway, I get on the bike, I get to my gas station. I have cash on me, so I grab my cash and I hand it to the lady, and I don't know how much is here. Fuck me, I just counted 17. Gas is up to almost $5 a gallon here, right? But this gas station, that agricultural 100% 87 octane unleaded, what you used to get in 1975 before they started adding corn alcohol to your fucking gasoline, is the same price as the 93. I pull up and I was like, I'm paying. I wish you'd get a swiper on there or just put it at all the pumps. She's like, really? I was like, yeah. I've heard, I just. Anyway, anytime I go to a gas station, I look for the 100% gasoline tanks because that's what I fill my shit with. As long as that thing is conveniently open, that's what I'm putting in my vehicle. Anyway, filled up the bike, brought it home. I've got 6 5-gallon things of 100% gasoline in my garage and my shed for my lawnmower and everything I own. But I figured I don't want to use what I have stockpiled. I'll grab this on the way home. It is a world of difference, and your vehicles will last longer. I am absolute living proof. When I talked to the guy that had bought my truck on the salvage title, I said, what kind of fuel are you putting in that? He said, regular. I was like, no. He said, excuse me? I said, you want to put the same fuel in that truck as you would put in your weed whacker or your lawnmower. I said, that's why the engine's still running. And you ain't had to change out the injectors. Is that the secret? I said, and synthetic oil. Good to know. I said, let's make world records. And he just laughed. He was a foreign guy. Does pools, concrete, I was so excited. He comes up to me every time he sees me and tells me how many miles are on it. Yeah, it's almost 400,000. There's a lot of people out there that do not understand the physics of the chemicals that they're putting in their vehicles. And when you understand all of that, you can buy a vehicle and God forbid somebody hit it and total you out. But you get into these habits of taking care of your vehicles the right way. Your engines run cooler. You run through less coolant. It just shit rolls downhill. Older vehicle, full synthetic. Convert it. Do an oil change, 3,000 miles, drain it out. I'm repeating myself, I know. Do the oil change, full synthetic. What that synthetic will do is it'll clean up everything. It'll clean up all the shit. 3,000 miles, do another one. Check your oil after about 3,000 miles. See what it looks like. If it looks like honey, you're good to go. If it looks like Guinness, change that shit again. Full synthetic, do another cycle. Until after 3,000 to 5,000 miles, when you check your oil and the color of it looks like honey, you have now trained your engine into being able to withstand a synthetic oil change every 10,000 miles. My father, may he rest in peace, I love this man. He was so smart when it came to this shit. Taught me pretty much everything I know, except how to do. I had to learn that through the military and friends and whatnot. YouTube University. But he loved Duraloop. He loved it. He had done an oil change on my sister's quad 4. She had, what was it? What was that car she had? It was a quad 4. It wasn't a Grand Am. It was something else. Can't remember what it was, but it was a quad. Pontiac something. But it wasn't a Grand Am. I had a Grand Am. He did the oil change on her, and it had Duralube in it. And her husband, who she was divorcing, fucked with her, ruined her car, and pulled the oil, went up underneath while she was sleeping, came in, crawled up underneath her car, and drained the oil out of her car. She went all the way 50 fucking miles or so, not realizing that she had leaked out all her oil. He had it, he had drained it and then stuck the plug back in there. She had 0 oil in it. 0. It never seized up. Because my dad put, instead of however many quarts, I think it took like 4.5. Instead of doing the 1 quart of oil, he did 1 quart of Duralube on top of the oil. And yeah, it saved her engine. Yep. So these are little things that, educate you with all of this crazy stuff that the government's trying to do with our fuel, and just they're trying to stretch the oil, but they're charging the shit out of it. It's like, why? You're getting, it's $50 a barrel. Why are you adding all this garbage to it? All you're doing is creating, one of it is because the car prices are so fucking expensive right now. Nobody's buying them. Right? I buy my pickup trucks used. And the reason why is because they're $100,000. Mine, it still has the sales thing in it. And I got it for 48. And after it's paid off and everything, it'll cost me 53. But I got the sales thing in there. I got it for 48, and it was 89,000 fucking dollars new in 2019. If I want that same vehicle now, I mean, my payment is $827. I pay $900. If I want that same vehicle now, I'm looking at a $1,300 vehicle payment, brand new. That's more than my mortgage. My house was $130 8 years ago. Economics. I hate our government. I hate it. I watched something else. Somebody, they got TDS and they moved to Mexico. Your reasons for moving and expating do not need to be based on one particular individual's perspective on how they're trying to save the country. You know what? Nobody's fucking perfect. Nobody. But as far as I can tell, I think he's done a pretty damn good job with the resources that he's got. And exposing all of the corruption is part of it. Now, I know it frustrates the fuck out of people. Like, holy shit, they were right. The conspiracy theories are right. Yeah, we were right. We were trying to warn you. It's kind of that Cassandra effect. Like, I told you so. You didn't listen. A lot of us who are, we're not walking around with tinfoil hats on. We're just being observant and pattern recognition and being like, yep, that's a distraction. Not important. You gotta learn, and there's, not everybody has that skill of being able to see the pattern recognition, being blindsided, right? So a lot of, this content on here, I talk about the bad relationship. Yeah, I was blindsided because I was in love with him. Because anybody, even, the conspiracy theorists and the hyper politicals, and, the reason I got out of the military and didn't do the last 3.5 fucking years to get a full fucking pension because of politics. Because I started to see through the smoke screen because of who was in charge. There's a lot. This is Easter weekend. Speaking of Jesus, Easter has become commercialized, to the bunny and the egg. And I have pagan roots. I have Gnostic education. I've done a lot of theological studies, and it breaks my heart. It really does. And I sit back and I get frustrated, and this is why I drink. Think about all the people, especially like my family. They have a particular, faith, religion, whatever. I don't play the game, but they support me in my, stuff. I got 2 apothecaries. They don't, they don't care. I know that Western Christianity is incomplete. This I know for a fact. Deep down in my soul, I know that Western Christianity is incomplete. They are not teaching what they need to be teaching to awaken the masses. There's a content creator, Morg Official. I love his content. Do I believe in his political beliefs? He is very much a Trump hater. I like Trump, where he's going. Have I unsubscribed from Morg because of his, disapproval of Trump? No. Because he uses him as a very distinctive example of where a lot of people get misguided and cultish in thinking. I'm not a MAGA. I'm not a Make America Great Again. America is great in itself. The people of America are great. because of our diversity. Our government is fucked. And it's not just our president. Our Congress is a complete shit show. And it doesn't matter if it's Democrat or Republican. We need to erase the fucking blackboard. Fucking start over. My biggest disappointment this year, honest to God, was watching Marjorie Taylor Greene resign. Because I really liked her. And that is one of those things, it's like that cognitive dissonance, like, holy shit. Did she care, or did she get frustrated and fucking walk out? Or is that her money's where she needs it to be so she can retire comfortable? She don't give a fuck about the little guy. Nancy Pelosi, same thing. The squad need to go. All fucking four of them. Jasmine Crockett and Al Green, thank you, dear God. Peace out. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord's pleased. But there's other Republicans that I'm like, and we're paying you why? There's Democrats. They're paying you why? These are my gin and juice thoughts. These are my things. Hey, I slept. God, I got home at like 6 o'clock in the morning. Slept for about 4 hours. Shit, I didn't get any sleep yesterday. I slept in till 4. Went in, got to work at 7:30, did a couple of loads. Got done at about noon. Came home, ate. Went back in at 10. Rode the bike, at least got some ride time in. Filled up on my way home. Called my dispatch after my 4th run and been like, okay, are we caught up? He's like, yeah, you can go. Thank God. I said, it's not the job. I'd stick around for one more. I said, but we got one cray-cray motherfucker on this crew right now. He's making us batshit crazy. He's like, oh my. I said, yeah, I gotta get away from the drivers. Contractors are fucking great. I said, it's wonderful tonight. He's like, shit. I was like, yeah. I'll see you on Monday. I gotta go. Anyway, so yeah. Woohoo, squirrel. Anyway, yeah, me and Squirrel, her and I, we could fucking, anyway, we could hang and laugh. Our conversations, shit, we'd probably talk ourselves into a fucking coma. Anyway, love that girl. She's down here in this area somewhere. They moved. I think they moved to Florida. Oh, God, I would love to just vacation, sit on her porch with her and sleep for an entire week. Because it's so exhausting. All of this crap that is going on in the world right now fucking sucks. Anyway. Clothes in the dryer. Clothes in the washer. The ones in the dryer are all uniforms. Oh my God, these fucking uniforms. I'm going to have to save that for another video because these things are fucking... But... takeaways. Use 100% fuel. 100% gasoline in your cars. That's one. Synthetic oil. Even if you got an older vehicle, just use synthetic. It's so much better for the engine. If you have a newer vehicle, use the proper weight of synthetic. Because they are using a cast aluminum engine block type of thing, and it's a heat thing. You do not want to fry your pistons inside your cylinders. So newer vehicles all typically take a synthetic. But they don't have a fuel requirement. So if it takes gasoline, use the 100% no ethanol. Our government is fucking with people. It's tragic. People expat not because they don't love America. They are expatting because they know that if they go to another country, their money is worth more and they can live better. There's that. I guess somebody moved to Mexico because they hate Trump, and 5 years later they're trying to come back. I would do a dual citizenship. You know, if I were to do that, I would, you know, keep something here in the States. You know, as far as my residency goes. Own land and put an RV on it. I don't know. Something where, you know, it's not going to get ridiculed and you can't do that. That's part of the problem why people are leaving. We are hyper regulated. I understand the seatbelts. I understand, you know, registration, you know, on vehicles, and I understand licensure. But why do we have to pay for it? Why is it so expensive in some states, like Colorado? Oh my God. Yeah. You're paying tax on it, and then you're paying the Department of Revenue more tax just to put a tag on it. That should be illegal. Anyway, I had said to somebody, and she laughed at me. I said to her, I think the Department of Revenue, insurance companies, because if you got a brand new vehicle, you got to put comprehensive collision on it, right? They get more money. And new car dealerships are all in like fucking cahoots in bed with each other. She goes, why is that? I said, well, Department of Revenue here in the state of Colorado requires you to have an emissions test. If you don't take care of your car and it's blowing fucking black smoke at the back, you can't register until you fix your shit. Right? Because they got that clean air fucking, you know, environment thing going on. Right? So you got the poor guy who can barely afford to fucking register the bitch anyway, because they do it on a depreciation value. So you pay tax on the vehicle you have to that you bought. You pay the fucker off. By then it's old. Engine probably ain't the cleanest. You go to the Department of Revenue. They make you do an emissions test. You go to the emissions place. You get the emissions test done. You fail it. You have to hire a mechanic to fix it, to make it clean, so you can pass the emissions test. There's money. You finally get it, and then they charge you some piddly amount because it's paid off, and it's basically the depreciation value has gone down to like next to nothing. Then you can do liability insurance. You don't need the comprehensive collision. I do comprehensive collision even if it's paid off, because it's a good thing to have. Anyway, especially living where I live, because I'm like, it's my tornado alley is migrating into the central USA. Like, I'm in the zone. If I get hail damage, I want to be covered. Anyway, so, not to mention I got a sunroof. Anyway, so then, so you got the Department of Revenue was making money off of brand new car sales, because you got an $80,000 car, they're going to charge you about $3,000 just to fucking put a tag on it. Insurance companies are raking it in because you got to put comprehensive collision on it. Cha-ching. And if you own an old vehicle, mechanics are making out because you're going to want to fix that old vehicle, and that old vehicle may cost you, you know, $1,200 to fix it, but it's only, the tag is only going to cost you $25 because it's paid off. So one time, one kill. Take care of it. You might be able to get ahead with a 20-year-old car. After you pay the money, comprehensive collision is based on the value of the vehicle. So, you're going to pay the liability based on your driving skills. You're going to pay the comprehensive collision based upon your address and the value of the vehicle. Things to know, things to understand. And Colorado and California are the fucking worst. New York taxes shit out of you. School taxes, state taxes, all sorts of fucking community taxes, every other fucking tax they can think of. They're gonna rape your check. Somebody who makes $40 an hour in New York brings home the same amount of money as I do at $28 an hour here in Tennessee. Yeah. Do the math. It's the economics. You gotta pay attention. And one of your biggest assets, and a lot of people, there's a lot of, economic people out there. They talk about this all the time, and I'm like, no. In a shit hit the fan situation, I want to get a fuel thingy for my truck. Like what our diesel guys have. Like, we have a contractor. He has a fuel pump on his truck. Big dually, right? And it's like a bed box. And it's got a fuel thing on there. And basically, it's an asset for him to fill up his Bobcat, all his gas powered tools, things like that. I want one of those on my truck. A shit hit the fan situation, or you run into a situation where you lose your job. You own a house, but you're not be able to afford the house. What do you need more? You need the house, or you're going to need the vehicle? A vehicle can be converted into a shelter, some means of being able to survive till you get on your feet. A lot of people are, how are you going to shower? Gym membership. Hotel once a week. And a gym membership. Oh, and there's also these awesome little things here in the United States called truck stops. Like Pilot, Flying J, QT. They have shower facilities. They're $20. If you're one of those people who don't need to shower every damn day, you could live in your car, shower at a Pilot, eat at a Pilot, and survive in a vehicle. So what's more important, your house or your vehicle? In a situation where your money runs dry and you need to be able to get back on your feet, what's going to get you back and forth to work? Is your house going to get you back and forth to work, or is your car going to get you back and forth to work? Take care of your fucking cars. My motorcycle, that is a luxury item. Yes, I cannot live on a motorcycle. However, push come to shove, I love camping. And my bike is equipped with enough space where I could pack it up and I could camp. In a pinch. I have a little 2-man tent. I have all my bug out gear. I have everything I could possibly imagine. However, what I don't have is space to haul fuel. But it gets a hell of a lot better gas mileage than the pickup truck. Things to think about. What's more important, your vehicle or your house? Make your house pretty, but your vehicle's going to break down. I'm trying to get this into my daughter's head. You know, shit hit the fan. Can you live in your car? If you run into a financial stitch and you need to let the house go? Do you know how? A lot of cars are not equipped to be lived in, but I did. I lived in a Camaro. Firebird. It can be done. Just takes massive organization and a lot of mental energy. Take care of your vehicles. And government dictating what is feasible, what is not. It's like, I feel bad for the Tesla people. You know, because if the grid goes down for whatever reason, they're fucked. Unless they have a generator in their front. Charge their vehicle while they're rolling down the road. Like the, you know, different videos. The guy's got a little, like, teeny portable generator. Keeps power on his vehicle for long trips. See, I can stop at a gas station anywhere every 200 or 300 miles. Top it off and keep going. Takes me 5 minutes. Teslas, they gotta sit there and park for an hour. Why don't they got solar panels built into the top of these motherfuckers? My daughter's got a hybrid. The fucking battery charges when she touches the brake. Genius. Yeah. You want to know how much it costs them in fuel to go from New York to Tennessee? $40 in her little hybrid. They're brilliant. If I get a vehicle, I'm getting a hybrid. I'm not going to get a full electric. Hell no. My house is a hybrid. I have a generator. Electric everything else. Now it's just a matter of being able to equip it. I'll be running extension cords for days. It doesn't matter. Hybrid. Till we can figure out how to make electricity with water on site, eliminate the TVAs, Niagara Mohawks, we'll all be in better shape. Yeah, because they're using the same fuel we use in our vehicles to run their facilities. We're getting charged double. Think about it. Why are vehicles so expensive? Because if your house burns down, where are you going to live? Hotel room or your car? Pick one. Y'all have a great evening. I need a refill. Doing laundry. Yeah, that's what that noise is. Sorry. If you're sensitive to that, yeah, this is an annoying fucking video, isn't it? Have a great Saturday, y'all. Happy Easter. Peace.